Most people think of mothers when they think of sacrifice in the animal kingdom, and for good reason. Across the natural world, mothers nurture, protect, and care for their young in extraordinary ways. But hidden behind many of nature's greatest survival stories is a less celebrated figure. While some animal fathers disappear shortly after their offspring are born, others perform acts of devotion that seem almost impossible to believe. Some endure months without food. Some carry their young within their own bodies. Some risk their lives to defend their families. Today we journey into the secret lives of animal fathers. Our story begins in one of the harshest environments on Earth, Antarctica, a land of endless ice, powerful winds, and temperatures that can fall below -40 degrees. For most animals, survival here is difficult. For an emperor penguin father, it is a test of extraordinary endurance. After the female lays a single precious egg, she begins a long journey to the sea in search of food. The responsibility for the egg is handed entirely to the father. Balanced carefully on his feet and protected beneath a warm fold of skin, the egg becomes his sole responsibility. For more than 2 months the father cannot leave, he cannot hunt, he cannot search for food. If he abandons the egg, even briefly, it could freeze within minutes. As the Antarctic winter tightens its grip, thousands of emperor penguin fathers gather together in massive huddles. They rotate positions constantly, sharing warmth and helping one another survive. Day after day, week after week, storm after storm, the fathers wait. By the time the mothers finally return, many fathers have lost nearly half their body weight. Yet they remain standing, still protecting, still waiting, still enduring, for a single chick. It is one of the most remarkable acts of parental dedication found anywhere in nature. If the emperor penguin teaches us about endurance, our next fathers teach us something even more surprising. Some animal fathers do not simply protect their young, they carry them. Deep beneath the ocean's surface lives one of nature's most extraordinary fathers, the seahorse. At first glance, seahorses appear delicate and fragile, yet hidden within their unusual bodies is one of nature's greatest parenting stories. Unlike most animals, it is the father, not the mother, who carries the developing young. After mating, the female transfers her eggs into a special pouch on the father's body. Inside this pouch, the eggs are protected, nourished, and cared for as they grow. For weeks, the father carries his unborn young wherever he goes. Then comes the moment that has amazed scientists and nature lovers alike: the birth. One by one, dozens, sometimes hundreds, of tiny seahorses emerge from the father's pouch. It is one of the few examples in nature where the father carries and delivers the next generation. Yet the seahorse is not the only father willing to turn his own body into a nursery. In the forests of South America lives a tiny frog with a parenting strategy unlike any other. At first, this frog appears ordinary, but when danger threatens its developing young, the father does something extraordinary. As the tadpoles begin to hatch, the father carefully gathers them into his mouth. Rather than swallowing them, he transfers them into his vocal sac. There, inside his own body, the young continue developing in safety. For weeks he carries them wherever he goes. When they are finally ready, tiny frogs emerge from the father's mouth and begin life on their own. It is one of the strangest and most devoted acts of fatherhood in the natural world. From ocean depths to forest floors, these fathers remind us that devotion often appears in unexpected forms. Not all fathers carry their young. Some protect them, and in the wild, protection can mean the difference between life and death. Among the most devoted fathers in nature is the wolf. Many people think of wolves only as hunters, but behind every successful pack is a strong family structure. Wolf fathers help defend the territory, protect the pups, and provide food for the entire family. When pups are young and vulnerable, the father's vigilance rarely stops. Predators, harsh weather, and hunger constantly threaten the next generation. The father's role is not simply survival, it is leadership. And sometimes, leadership means placing the needs of others before your own. But wolves are not the only fathers quietly supporting their families. Across fields, forests, and grasslands, fox fathers play a surprisingly important role in raising their young. While the mother remains close to the den, the father often becomes the family's primary provider. Day after day he searches for food, carrying meals back to the growing family. Without his efforts, the survival of the young would become far more difficult. Although less visible than some of nature's dramatic fathers, his contribution is no less important. His story reminds us that many acts of love happen away from the spotlight. Yet hidden within that struggle are stories that reveal something deeper, stories of care, stories of devotion, stories of sacrifice. The emperor penguin teaches us endurance. For months he stands against freezing winds and endless darkness, all for a single life. The seahorse teaches us that responsibility sometimes means carrying burdens that others never see. The Darwin's frog teaches us that protection can require extraordinary commitment. The wolf teaches us leadership, not leadership through power, but leadership through service. The fox teaches us that many of life's most important contributions happen quietly, without recognition, without applause, without reward. Together, these fathers remind us that true strength is not always measured by size or power. Sometimes true strength is measured by what one is willing to endure for another. Across oceans, forests, grasslands, and frozen continents, these fathers are helping shape the future of their species. And perhaps that is why their stories continue to inspire us. When we think of extraordinary parents, we often think of mothers, and rightly so. But today we have seen that some of nature's most remarkable fathers deserve recognition as well. Their stories remind us that devotion comes in many forms. Whether standing against Antarctic storms, carrying young within their own bodies, defending a pack, or quietly providing for a family, these fathers reveal the extraordinary power of dedication. Their lives remind us that some of the greatest acts of love are not loud, they are simply faithful. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the secret lives of animal fathers. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who love the wonders of the natural world. Without recognition, without applause, without reward. Together, these fathers remind us that true strength is not always measured by size or power. Sometimes true strength is measured by what one is willing to endure for another. Across oceans, forests, grasslands, and frozen continents, these fathers are helping shape the future of their species. And perhaps that is why their stories continue to inspire us.